and welcome to the first episode of the Open Mic podcast, where we interview music students from Lincolnshire and the surrounding areas. Today I'm joined by Chase Temple. So first of all, Chase, would you like to explain a bit about yourself and tell what you're about, really?
Hi, I'm Chase Temple. I play drums and I make music.
Okay, so you say you make music. What actually got you into that? Was it from an early age, or is it more of a recent thing you've started doing?
Well, my family, we have a musical lineage, you know. My great-grandfather was the head of brass at the Royal Scottish Conservatoire, and my dad's been a musician for more than 15 years now, so, you know, it's in my blood.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, I've always, ever since I was 4 years old, that's when I started playing the drums, and I've been listening to music basically all my life, so.
Oh, so it's been quite an early thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Was there a specific person or moment from the start of your journey specifically that's really inspired you to carry on? Like, have you met anyone, any of your inspirations or anything?
Yeah. Well, there's a few. There's obviously my dad, who's the major push into me becoming a musician, and he's really helped me. I mean, I used to sit and listen to his music and the records he owned, and I mean, just hearing all that different music really helped. And David Bowie's records really, you know, inspired me, especially in his later stuff, to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say my dad and David Bowie.
Yeah. You mentioned about vinyl. Have you got a collection of your own then at home?
I do.
Yeah. What sort of stuff do you collect then?
Well, I collect mostly LPs, just of a lot of different stuff that I'm listening to at that moment.
Oh, nice.
Like,
yeah.
if I'm listening to a lot of, like, right now, I'm listening to Charles Mingus and Miles Davis, so I'm getting Mingus and Davis stuff. It's not really like a specific genre. It's just everything, but it's a good collection. I enjoy
nice.
it.
So a varied collection then.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you've been interested from a young age. So when did you actually start producing, and which DAW have you chosen?
Well, I started producing when I was about, I would say I was around 12 or 13. That's when my first album it was when I was in school, and someone had told me to make the worst album I could, so I made this 12-minute hip-hop album called Buffalo Season. I've completely wiped it off the internet.
Oh, so you can't go and look it up, guys?
You can't see it anymore. But that was just, you know, it was really distorted rap stuff. It was mental, but even though it sucked, it was like the pipeline into me.
It's what got you into
yeah,
it, right? Yeah.
It's what got me. I use Soundtrap. It's just a free web.
Is it a browser one?
Yeah, it's a
browser-based store.
Browser-based store. And then my dad started. He's had Logic, so I started using Logic on my dad's thing, and then that's what stuck. I mean, I use Logic now to record and produce.
Yeah, that's a very popular one within the industry.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Have you faced any particular challenges along your musical journey so far, and any that have really affected you?
Well, I think the main one was me getting the confidence to start singing.
Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people, to be fair.
'Cause I wanted to play live more, and I wanted to play my own stuff more, but I always had I always didn't have, you know, the bravery to start singing.
Yeah.
Whenever I thought about doing it, you know, the lump would form in your throat, and then you just couldn't get any words out. But I've been trying to get past that, and I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah, nice. Have you got any tips for anyone that might be having the same problem of being nervous to perform live and sing?
What, singing?
Yeah.
I see it as like, you know, most of the people in that crowd, and this is like an ego thing. You shouldn't think like this all the time, just when you're on stage. Most of the people in that crowd, if you're good at an instrument and they're coming to see you, there's maybe a chance that they suck.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
So you've just got to be confident, and you've got to be a little bit egotistical to get it out.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say, but you shouldn't be ego all the time.
Yeah, you
That's
only
not-
live
yeah.
once.
Yeah, you only live once, so be nice, but not not on stage. Be
Yeah.
be a little bit big-headed.
So, speaking of, in terms of your production on DAWs and stuff, is there a specific genre you gravitate towards making the most? And like a favourite production style, maybe inspired by someone?
There's not really a specific genre that I focus towards, because I mean I started out I did 3 albums that were sort of like, it took a lot from Jay Dilla, from sort of like those lo-fi hip hop beats, and a lot of electronic stuff as well. I was listening to a lot of Aphex Twin, Square Pusher, stuff like that, and then a lot of ambient stuff. Again, Aphex Twin with Ambient Works Volume 2, that was a massive inspiration. So that's stuff I sort of started that I started out on, and I sort of took the way that I did stuff like that, the way I arranged stuff, I took that into doing guitar music, and that's the line I'm going down now.
Oh, nice. So you're very open to a lot of different genres
Yeah.
and production
Yeah.
styles. You don't make a set thing.
Yeah.
So, another question I want to ask you is, where can people find your music online?
Well, I've most of my old stuff I've kind of wiped off the internet, like a lot of my old albums. But
Was that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought going into, I'm going to be 18 years old this year, and I thought I need to clear up my discography, and so I've put all of the best tracks from those 3 albums that I did. I've put them all onto one disc, and I've added a few new ones in there too. And so that's like the main one if you want to listen to those, like if you want to listen to my beats. And I also post some stuff on YouTube, but a lot of the time that can be just shit posts. But I'm not really a big fan of streaming services, but so I don't really.
Yeah,
upload
is
any
that
more
to do
stuff
with
on
like
it.
the amount they pay out and stuff, rather than
It's
for the
just
artist?
it's more of like an ethical thing.
Right? Yeah.
'Cause 20 years ago, I think it would have been unfathomable, when everyone was still going to HMV and buying CDs and records, that in 20 years' time, the most common thing to do is pay £7 a month and get access to all of the music ever recorded ever.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how things change.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just a really unethical thing to do.
Yeah. So is physical media in one of your goals for the future then?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, over Christmas I tried to get some CDs printed of that album I put out in December, but they didn't get it done, which really annoyed me. They were like, "Oh, there's too many orders around Christmas time," so I gave up. But
Yeah.
like, I've made some handmade ones, so I probably will give those out. I've been giving them out to like some shops in town and stuff.
Yeah, and that is one thing you shouldn't do. Give up. You should keep going.
Yeah, keep going,
Just-
definitely.
Yeah. And another common thing I've seen with especially music students is like that they keep changing their image as an artist. So deleting
Yeah.
old stuff and stuff. So that's quite common what you've done, to
Yeah.
be fair. But I did mention future goals. So have you got any short-term goals of the rest of your life at college and starting uni next year
Well,
that you want to achieve?
Starting uni's the big one. I obviously want to get wrapped up with what's going on here, and then when I go to uni, I want to start gigging live more, and I want to start releasing a lot more music, obviously independently, sort of getting that sold, and just sort of getting a good contact of people, a good network of
Yeah,
people.
that's good.
That's my main goals.
Yeah, just speaking to people at uni. Well, uni's a great place to go and meet people because city,
Yeah.
especially like somewhere. I'm not saying Lincoln's bad for music, but it's just not as prominent as where you want to go
I
to.
want to go to Manchester.
Yeah, that's the place to be, really, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
small in Lincoln, and with it being small, there's a good network of people. But in terms of like loads of different scenes, there's sort of like only one in Lincoln at the moment, and that's sort of like, just it's not very big. Like, they're good bands, don't get me wrong, but they're small. it's a small network of people. So somewhere like Manchester, I really want to get stuck into because the scene there is massive.
Oh, nice, yeah. Manchester is great. If any of you haven't been, go to Manchester.
Definitely.
That's where you need to go. But in terms of like past uni and even further than that, are there any specific goals you have? Because you perform, produce. So is there a set career you want to go in from one of those, or do you want to keep it open to everything? Could you even go into musical teaching or something like that?
I mean, my main goal with because when I learnt the drums, I wanted to start arranging my own music, and I wanted to start just writing songs entirely myself. So I taught myself guitar, bass, and piano to sort of get good at arranging and composing myself. Yeah. And then when I learnt how to produce, it was sort of like, shit, I could genuinely like play and produce a whole record myself. And so, that as much fun as that would be nice to do, I'm just sort of keeping my job opportunities open by sort of just learning in all these different avenues, like playing and producing. Yeah. And I hope to like find more avenues to potentially pursue at uni.
Yeah, that's really important as well, to keep your avenues open, because if you have multiple streams of revenue, you'll be doing quite well for yourself in the long run anyway. Yeah. So, sorry, were you going to say something? No. Okay. So, how are you keeping yourself organised as a college student with work assignments and also your own productions at home? And do you feel like it gets a lot?
Yeah, it does. I mean, year 2 we've really got to lock in, and I think I don't spend too long on something because I always just overthink it, and I'll just keep being like, that bit isn't up to scratch. I could write that bit a little bit better. But if I do it bit by bit, then it keeps my mind fresh, and so the ideas are flowing instead of me just getting writer's block. That's my main one. Yeah,
nice one. So is there an artist or musician that you look up to in the terms of career, and someone whose career you really admire from start to finish?
In a career?
Yeah.
Ty Segall, definitely.
Could you explain a bit about?
Yeah, he's he's California born and bred. He's been in the San Francisco garage rock scene for all his life. He's been in various bands. He's constantly changing how his stuff sounds. Something like that that sounds ridiculously fun to do. Like Ty Segall's records. Like, just listen to any of them. Listen to Melted, Manipulator. He's just one of my favourite artists. So he's definitely someone I look up to in terms of just keeping it fresh, coming up with new sounds.
Oh, nice one. Okay, that was very interesting. So, in terms of other inspirations with like their performance style, because I know you are a performer as well as a producer, and are there any dream artists that you'd like to go and see live?
Well, the artists that I've seen at the moment is honestly like, it's not far from some of those are my dream artists. Like, I've seen Black Midi live before they split up. I saw Donny Benet, who's awesome. He's like an Australian disco artist.
Oh, nice.
Jody Greep from Black Midi. I saw Panda Bear from Animal Collective, and I saw the OCs live. But
sick.
Any others that I'd like to say, I haven't seen Ty Segall live. I'd love to see them. There's a lot of bands like that, some that have split up that I'll never be able to see. You know what I mean? Like a lot of artists that have been and gone. Like Hella would be amazing to see live. Not many are coming off the top of my head. Like artists like just like anyone really. There's a lot of just the artists that I listen to.
And I know you're into a lot of the older stuff.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of bands that you wish you could have seen, but obviously can't now that have
there's a lot of them. It's like can just look like a band that reinvents themselves every gig. They are amazing. Wow. And it's just a lot of artists that have, either like sadly passed or have just split up or are too old to keep playing. I couldn't tell you like if I had a time machine which night I'd go to or anything like that. But
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of artists I could be sat here all night talking about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, in terms of marketing yourself as an artist, in terms of promoting gigs and other like events and releases you've got coming
Yeah.
up, do you think that social media has more of a positive impact on yourself as an artist or a negative impact?
Well, I can see it from both sides, because one of the positives is you can reach a wider audience. You know, it can reach a lot of people in Lincoln in which you cannot see, that they won't be able to see your stuff if they're like not in the right areas. Because originally you'd
Yeah,
have to put
definitely.
flyers up, and if someone didn't come into the shops where you put the flyers up, you know, they'd never know. So social media, like everyone's on their phones, so they'd definitely be able to see it. But I think the downside is it's kind of killed the sense of community that a lot of scenes used to have, because everyone used to go down to the venues and they used to just see whatever bands, because it was a means of meeting their friends and hanging out. And you don't get that anymore, and so you find a lot of people just now pick and choose the bands in which they want to go see, which for me has killed a lot of the bands that are that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
And
playing their
also,
first gig don't have any fans. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
sorry to interrupt, but like I also feel like people used to go to discover new music, and now
Yeah,
they more go
definitely.
to people they know rather than supporting up and coming
Oh,
musicians.
100%. Like I've seen that a lot with artists that I've seen, that artists that have opened for bigger artists. Like I once saw the Libertines at the Engine Shed,
Oh yeah,
and the Rills opened up
aren't they
before
from
them.
Lincoln?
Yeah,
The
they're
Rills,
from
yeah.
Lincoln. Yeah,
Didn't they go to one of the colleges in Lincoln as
I
well?
think so. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one, but they're good guys. I mean,
Yeah,
they're all Lincoln City fans, and so I was having a good chat with them. But the Rills, when I saw them live, it was, they didn't get a good reception. Like no one cared, and I get, you coming to see the Libertines, they could be your favourite band or whatever. But I think people just don't appreciate new music that they haven't heard like before. You know what I mean?
yeah. And do you think, this is a completely different question now,
Yeah.
but do you think that the amount of new festivals each year and the growing festival scene
Yeah.
is taking a lot away from the smaller, more intimate events and stuff?
I don't see it that way, because festivals are crazy. Festivals have always been crazy, but I think the right kind of people go to those smaller intimate gigs now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the sludge has gone away to those festivals in a way. Like a lot of people who just go to live music just to get messed up on pills
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
'Cause
They've all sort of washed down the shore to them festivals. So
yeah, personally, I do. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of festival lineups these days are overstacked with headliners,
100%.
rather than having more up and coming people and giving them a chance to perform on stage in front of a large audience, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you can
Yeah, it's
maybe
insane.
find
It's insane the amount of people they have at festivals now. Like I look at some of them, and if it's over a weekend, like I looked at Download Festival, I just don't understand how they're gonna fit everyone in, because it's only a weekend.
yeah, it's
And,
crazy.
like nowadays with like the festival in Leeds and Reading, a band's on for about 30
I know,
minutes,
it's silly.
and then when they start sounding good, when they've sorted out the sound, like the sound's been checked properly and they actually sounded decent, it's time to pack up, and then comes on another band which does the same thing. They'll start playing.
Yeah,
Then when they sound good, they go off. So I just don't understand it. I wish there was less, so
Yeah.
bands could get more time.
I do appreciate that there is a space for seeing longer sets, but I do agree that the short set times at festivals, it just gets a bit silly, because I think the organisers try and cram people on lineups
Yeah.
to get more people to buy tickets rather than focusing on the actual musical quality.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, obviously, if you want to see a longer set, you can always go and see them at their own tour, but
Yeah.
there are other ways.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the bands that play now are just this is a personal opinion, but a lot of the headliners now, I think it's just ridiculous the fact that they're headlining. Like, I saw Charlie XCX headline
Did you?
Glastonbury. I wasn't there,
Oh,
but
on telly.
I watched it on telly, and I also watched a band called the OCs.
Yeah.
And they were playing on a much smaller. They were playing on a much smaller stage.
Which stage
to
was
a much
it? Can you
smaller
remember?
crowd. I don't know. I think it was that one with all the artwork above
Is
it.
it West Holt's, that one? I'm not sure.
It's the one with all the artwork above
Yeah.
it. But
Parks.
obviously Charlie was on the pyramid stage, the really big one, and she's just there playing to a backing track. Her vocals are there, so it's like she's double tracking her vocals, and I just don't. I don't understand that. I don't understand how that can headline it. You know, it might be a good album, but Glastonbury has always been, and traditionally, it's been a live music festival. It's been a festival with big bands, not someone whacking on a CD. That's just a personal thing, but that's always just ticked me off.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a lot of you at home will agree with that as well, because as a lot of you may be up and coming musicians yourself, it's a big thing that you need to think about in the future.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I get it with like rap stuff. You know, they're not gonna have a full band, but even if they've got a DJ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen like Charlie didn't have a DJ. She was
it just played through the speakers?
It was just like this big old
Backing
green background, and someone had just whacked a CD on.
But to be fair, that's been done for a while.
Oh yeah,
if you look at Top of the Pops from the 80s and 90s, none of them actually played live. It was all played
True,
through the speakers. So
but a difference there is that a lot of those bands actually wanted to play live, and they didn't want to play to the backing track. It was the BBC that made them.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a little bit different. Top of the Pops
debate.
is still funny though. Yeah.
Moving back to you then as an artist.
Yeah.
I want to ask about any music releases that you've got coming up, and if you're working on any original songs or projects as an artist yourself.
Yeah, I am. I've got a new album. It's unnamed with an unnamed band.
Will that be released, or are you keeping it unnamed?
Yeah, it's gonna be released, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll think of a name, but that's coming out about March time.
Nice.
So there's that. I've also got. I'll be playing live with that band, definitely. It's got the old bassist of Faith Estate in it. He's a good lad.
Oh, nice.
And also I'm gonna be doing some more beats, as I always do, and I'm also gonna be doing the ambient music, as I always do.
Nice. Yeah.
Just to keep me in
keep
practice.
Going.
Yeah. And I'll also be doing some funky soul stuff.
Ooh.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I do like how diverse you are as a musician, to be fair.
Yes. Spread my wings.
So in terms of that release, the unnamed album, do you have any inspirations behind that yourself, or are you just seeing where it goes?
Well, it's for a college project, but it's going to be, its own thing, and the band's going to be its own band even out of college. And I've always wanted to just try and get an album out real fast. And like, I've seen there's loads of artists that I like, really wanted to. They like releasing 2 albums every year. It's ridiculous, and I've always wanted to do something like that. But I've had these songs written for a while, and I've been fine tuning them. So it's gonna be fun to just get that project moving.
Do you do all your songwriting and stuff yourself then?
Some of the time, I think most of the time, me and my dad, we sort of write together, because he's a songwriter, and has been since before I was blooming born, and so he's had that in his blood, and so I'm sort of learning from him a lot. I learn a lot from him, so I think it's normally with my dad.
Yeah, nice one. It's good that you're trying to do a lot of the creative elements of it yourself, rather than relying on other people, and it's good that your college has given you a project to allow you to express yourself creatively as well. Yeah. So I also wanted to ask, how are you approaching practicing with the band, and working on the album? Are you gonna record it into Logic and sort it on there? Or
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, I think I always want to keep like the live feel. I don't want it to get it mundane and really digital sounding. So I want it to be live, and I want it to have like a human feel to it. So it's all gonna be recorded live in like, all the takes together. Recording all the guitars just as a band, recording
nice.
like in live in the studio. So I'd like to do that, but again, that's only able. You're only able to do that if you've got a band. So all the stuff I do on my own, I've got to, if I want to capture that sort of human feel, I don't loop anything. If I'm playing something, I'll play it all in like a long take throughout the whole thing.
Nice,
because then you sort of get into a groove of it
adds
instead
to
of
the
just
human elements rather than
the human elements of it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, and in terms of the album, again, this is the last question on it, but is there any specific messages, or what would you like a listener to take away from the album? In terms of like maybe lyrics or styles.
It's loud and zany. I think that's what I want someone to. That's not what I want someone to think. It's loud and zany.
Okay, nice. So, sorry, one more question on the album.
Yeah.
In terms of release, are you planning on releasing with a label or independently?
I'm gonna do it independently. It's all gonna be mixed and mastered by us.
Nice.
And we'll have these lovely handmade CDs out in March.
Okay, so where will people be able to purchase them from online if anyone's interested in?
Either my Instagram, which is @ChaseStumps with a Z on the end, so STUMPZ, or on my Instagram, that's chasetemple.bandcamp.com. So that's the main two places.
Yeah, I'll link both your Bandcamp and your Instagram in the description of this YouTube video for you all to check out. So, I want you to give the people watching this podcast some advice, as I hope you're all enjoying it. So, I want to know if you've learned, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned as a music student so far, in terms of being at college, and from when you've started production to now.
Less is more.
Okay. And second question, have you got any advice to someone right at the start of their musical journey, maybe not knowing what to do, maybe nervous, shy?
Do what your heart feels. Don't feel pressured to go a certain route. Just find your own path.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yeah. And for the third question, how do you handle, we touched on this earlier, but how do you handle nerves and maybe not nerves, writer's block?
The nerves bit, just pretend you just get really egotistical and paint yourself up in your head to be the best person in the room. It's not what I do, but I've heard it works. But writer's block is I just let it sit for a while. David Bowie used to say if he's not getting a good vocal take in about 10 minutes, he'll move on to the next track. You know what I mean?
That's a good tip.
So it keeps it fresh, and you don't want to get too hearing the same track over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, nice. So, in the long run, what would your dream festival, stage, event, or location be to perform?
Either playing the Windmill in Brixton, or playing Cine Bank on one of them stadium gigs.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
People in the middle.
It'd be good to do something in Lincoln as well.
Yeah.
Just because you're from Lincoln.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you very much.
So,
it's been lovely being here.
This is a part that I'm going to ask everyone I interview, and it's 10 quickfire. 10 quickfire questions that are non-music related, just so people can learn a bit more about yourself. And
let's go.
So, yeah. What is one non-electronic item you can't live without?
Karma soap from Lush. Keeps me smelling
Not
nice.
sponsored, by the way.
And it smells great.
Yeah, okay. And second question, what's your favourite place in the world? So if you could get on the plane and go to somewhere right now, where would you go? Or drive?
I'd join a sailing crew and go to the Caribbean.
Nice. Good answer. What's your favourite breakfast, or if you don't have breakfast, favourite meal?
I don't eat breakfast, so I'd have to say okonomiyaki, Japanese pancakes made by my stepmom. They're brilliant. It's like so these Japanese pancakes, they're like lettuce. You put lettuce with this pancake mixture, put it on a pan, let it cook,
Ooh.
and then you have this pork. You have a nice bit of pork. You chop that up, put it with some nice seasoning on it, and then you put it over that, and then you put loads of this like special mayonnaise on it. It's delicious.
That sounds really good, actually.
It's one of the best things I've ever eaten.
What is your favourite non-musical hobby?
Cooking.
Fair enough. Yeah. So do you cook that thing you have yourself?
What, them pancakes? Yeah. I've helped out, but my stepmom's got the secret touch.
Okay. Next one is question number 5. Favourite film or series?
Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and for series right now it's Twin Peaks.
That was a very quick answer.
Yep.
Yeah, you know that one. Question number 6. What is your favourite quote or saying?
Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups.
Nice. Next question. Dream job outside of music?
Chef.
Oh, I know you've got a hobby for cooking now.
Yeah. No, that's what I'd do. If every avenue I go down in music wouldn't work, I'd be a cook at a nice restaurant somewhere.
Yeah, nice one. So what is your favourite brand?
I don't like brands.
At all?
Not really. If I really, really had to pick one, and you're pushing me there, I'd say, what brand is in clothing, or just any brand?
Just like company, favourite company.
I don't like companies.
Right, okay, that's a question for another. That's a discussion topic for another day.
Yeah, no.
But right, I'll bring it back to music. But you've still got to answer the question.
Yeah.
What is your favourite make of guitar?
My favourite make of guitar, so basic, but Fender.
Yeah, they're very popular for a reason, aren't they? So
Yes,
yeah.
they're good.
Second to last question. What is
Yes.
the most used app on your phone? Have a look.
I ain't got it on me, but I know it's Instagram.
Yeah.
It's definitely Instagram. Or Geometry Dash. Or Safari.
Fair enough.
For Rate Your Music.
Yeah.
Rate Your Music.
And final question. Is there a football or sports team you support? And why?
Can I say 2?
Yeah.
Man United because my family, my heritage. And Lincoln City FC because I live here.
Up the imps.
Up the Imps. Been here all my life.
Yeah,
Love
nice
it to
one.
bits. Second in the league. Come on, you Imps.
Well, thank you very much, Chase, for joining me. Right, I'll redo that. Thank you very much, Chase, for joining me on this podcast as our first guest. And just to say again, where anyone could find you on social media.
chasetemple.bandcamp.com, and then on Instagram it's Chase Stumps with a Z.
Okay, and thank you again for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow the Instagram, which is the same username as the YouTube. And there'll be some more episodes coming out, which will be announced on the Instagram, as well as a special live episode coming up. But I'm not going to say who the artist is yet.
Oh.
But yeah, so good luck with all your releases, Chase, and everything to come for the future. And thank you for watching at home.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Thank you.